Hey everybody, Nullface here in Eternal Evolution with another Twilight Lands video. I guess these are pretty much all that I've done lately, but yeah, it's alright. Uh, this one was the shortest one so far, at least for me, but definitely a little more problematic than the previous. It's close, but 16.4 especially was quite a headache. Uh, Having to juggle it wasn't even juggling two whales. The energy controlling was easy. It's just the sheer amount of incoming damage. I had to keep retrying until I got the heal shield cycling correct, so that we didn't just end up losing someone. Also had to regear Bailey a little bit. So I'll do the usual here. Go through the stat summaries for each of the stages, show the videos, and then I'll have more detailed looks at the builds afterwards. If those are of any interest, you can stick around and check those out, or go through the chapters and find exactly the hero you need, because there were a few changes I ended up making just to kind of stabilize that team a little bit, because Bailey, oh Bailey, I don't know what to do about you. Really did not want to survive, but it got there eventually. Cleared in about a little under 2 hours, and about an hour and a quarter of that was spent on 16.4. And of course, when I finally got it, it just happened and everything was fine. So we'll go through, kind of highlight, like I said, what the builds were, show you the runs, and we'll get on with it. this is what I ended up running for Bailey. Sun Signet and Marauder, crit rate, HP, damage reduction. Still the squishiest of all of them, but it did finally let him survive, so I guess that works. Through this, all my assassins ended up being EX30, as I could not pass the DPS check without it, so again, EX30 there. He is a Mortal 3 because I've collected quite a few copies along the way, but no hyper or anything like that, so these are his total stats. Then we'll take a look at Rickert next. So Rickert's build did not have to change at all for Twilight, which was kind of nice. I did have an alternative variant where there's only one paired assassin that I tried, but the energy management didn't work out. That was on 16.7. I thought with just one whale, maybe 2 assassins will work, but they couldn't quite keep it down. So Rickert's just running crit damage, attack across the way. He is also exclusive 30, because I kind of think that's almost a requirement to get through this. I would love to see it happen without it, but I don't know how that's going to work, just judging by the amount of incoming damage you have to deal with, and if you don't kill them fast enough, it's going to ramp up over time, and everybody goes splat. This is the Rickert build here. And then we'll take a look at Dominic. All right, here is Dominic. So he's running Sun Signet and Marauder with crit rate, HP. Okay, that could have been attack. I didn't realize that when I raised him to Immortal, I forgot to trade out his helm. So could have done more damage. Probably would have helped, but you know, it worked. I at least changed his boots. Not that there's any decent substats on there, but he at least has attack boots on. Like I said, I did raise him up to EX30. I had the materials. I didn't necessarily want to spend them because I don't use them many other places, but it is what it is. That's what let me get past 16.4 with the DPS check there. Huge improvement on that level once I gave him this effect. The alt damage pop was very significant and helped out a lot. So apparently it could have been even better. I'll have to find a new piece to to go in there after this. But these are his overall stats. So fairly tanky, a little more than he needed to be. Crit capped, a little bit of crit damage in there. Attack's a little low, obviously, in an HP helm. So it got the job done. He is, like I said, fairly tanky with just his invisibility skill. So he doesn't need a whole lot of defensive stats in there if he is immortal, especially if he's EX30. Alright, let me show the slightly updated Pandemonium build next. So Pande here did get a slight change, mostly just traded out a couple pieces to get his accuracy up a little bit higher. So he is running HP, damage reduction, full Hawkeye. I run him with a +1 all skills commander, so the 40% knockdown here is actually 45 with the accuracy he has. 250, it doubles it and then a little bit, so we're above 90% knockdown rate, which worked really well against the guys in the tank bonds. I just took him out of the fight almost entirely. Made that a lot simpler, and he is, of course, still a tank, still really good base stats in there too. Doesn't need the crit rate, it just came with the gear. No need to focus on it or anything, but he can crit, so it's not the worst thing to have. But did really well, super solid all the way through. And the newest member of the team, Womigon, who I keep wanting to call Womington for some reason, like he's some sort of fancy British dragon. Womington Dragonsby III, Esquire, at your service. I don't know, can't get it out of my head. So to me, fancy British dragon. Anyway, running him in Blessed sets, actually full HP bottom row, because he gets plenty of damage reduction from the Blessed sets. They kind of replace the boots and just let him have a little more HP. He's sitting at EX20. Haven't upgraded him yet. And Immortal 0, pretty new. He replaced Zaida in the lineup. He did well enough. Not really much to say about that. You saw him in the tank bond video. He did his thing. He kind of gathered them up a little bit more. It was handy for that. But yeah, I think there's plenty of options to use as long as you have Pande and at least one support in there. I do really like running Rise in that team. The rest of it's kind of open. You can use Ida, you can use this guy, you can probably use Vagnus if you can get him to survive. He was taking some pretty big hits in Chapter 15, so I just swapped him out for this dude, and it was easy as can be. So no complaints. Good addition to the team so far. that's really about it. Didn't need very many heroes this time. It was honestly just assassins, tanks, and Nord the whole time. That was it. With supports alongside. But this hero-wise, this one was pretty simple. Mechanic-wise, not so much. I don't mind mechanically challenging stuff. It's just the amount of RNG that it takes to get through these without without losing your team, so you can try to make it through the first day. That's the part that gets me. I on the last level or the last stage, probably maybe could have done it in one, but once I saw it was below half and I had the reset left, there was no reason to stress it and keep going. Just blow it up, get everything mostly dead, toss a couple more teams at it for good measure, and then come back and kill it easily. That's all there was to it. So I wish everyone best of luck on this one. I know not a lot, or not everybody at least, has strong assassins built out. It seems to be the theme now. Twilight will focus on whatever the last hero or two were released before it. So it seems like it's going to be a requirement to build out every hero pretty much going forward, which it definitely makes it tough, right? Chapter 16 is much less accessible to anyone free to play or low spender, because if you don't have the resources to do that, you just can't compete nearly as easily, especially now that they reduced the amount of time to get through it. As a Monday through Friday employee, I appreciate it starting on the weekend, so I don't have to try and juggle Twilight and work and or call out sick that day. No, never done that. Definitely not. But yeah, the schedule will work for some, not for others. They keep changing it around. I do give them props for trying to make it better, trying to improve it overall. Personally, I still prefer the points version. I think that was the best. It was definitely a little overtuned, but now we're back to the race, and I never thought I'd say it, but I miss the points. It favored team composition and execution over, pure speed. But given these last two have been the same, I feel like this may be what we have. But who knows? If there's too many day one clears, they may go back to trying to reformulate it a little bit. We'll just have to wait and see. But for now, I hope you're able to get some use out of the video and potentially even my ramblings. Good luck out there. It's a rough one. Lots of assassins everywhere and freaking whales trying to blow you up. So hope it goes well for y'all. Thanks for watching and take care.